You stay on hard.
Well, hello, good evening. Monday Night Live, the BCSN SportsWrap. I can think of no better place to be on a Monday night, a special Monday night for me, with my guy A.D. Drew. And,
birthday boy.
Yeah, and all of the people that that we love, and all the people that have been a part of our show for the last 7 years. Drew, how you doing tonight?
Man, I'm doing straight, man. I think this needs to be in our contract with the Black College Sports Network that you must do a podcast on your birthday. I think that just needs to be part of the contract.
Exactly. No days off. No days off.
And this is not even the ironic thing is when I did the podcast on my birthday, it was a regularly scheduled show, but it wasn't my show. So I was a guest host, and today we just all off kilter because it's Monday, and Black College Network doesn't do Monday. Monday's our off day. We like the old barbershop. You could get your hair cut on Mondays. Black College Sports Network don't work on Mondays.
Right. We were supposed to be, we were supposed to be off, and I just honestly I didn't even feel like doing the show yesterday. I know you were. I'm gonna keep it real with everybody. Look, Drew was coming back from the SIC championship, and I was like, I wasn't like out celebrating Cinco de Mayo or nothing like that, nothing crazy, but I was just like, I don't feel like doing the show. And then, I was on the fence about even doing the show tonight. And I said, just like what you said, Drew, you did a show on your birthday, and I said, you know what, I can't go out like that. I can't go out. I can't let I can't let Drew do a show on his birthday and me not do a show on mine. So I thank you for coming on with me today, Drew, so that I didn't have to spend this time talking by myself.
Good doggone well, you was not gonna get on here by yourself, bro.
Well, I might have tried it. Who knows? So yeah, today, matter of fact, on this day in 1974, happened on a Monday, and I think I'm official. My mother, God rest her soul, she used to tell me in the morning, she would be like, you haven't officially had your birthday yet because you were born at like 6:20 p.m. So as Eastern time in a hospital in Norfolk, Virginia. I forgot the name of the hospital. But it was on a Monday, Drew. That was kind of funny. But yeah, I'm official now, Drew. I'm officially 5 decades around the sun.
Yeah. Well, I was born at 4:29 p.m. at a hospital called Jewish Hospital in St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay. All right.
I want to say it was a Wednesday when I look back at the calendar, but don't quote me on the day of the week.
Gotcha. So yeah, and then I was like, hey, look, we got to come in and do something on the heels of a big historic weekend and just all kinds of stuff. So I'm gonna get in and say hello. Sorry about that. I managed to hit the mute button too. So say hello to everybody who's come in and joined us. I appreciate everybody for coming on. Mary 305 jumping in. Thank you for the birthday love. Tamara T, thank you. Emmett Jones coming in. Big game tonight. Game 1. That's why we call it a watch party, Drew, because game 1, Knicks Pacers. Pacers Knicks. One of the greatest rivalries in the Eastern Conference over the last
in the 90s.
I'm gonna say, let me see.
90s. See, from Patrick Ewing through Reggie into the early 2000s.
35 years. Last 30, 35 years. Give me a better rivalry in the East. In the East. Give me a better one.
Knicks Heat.
Here's where I'll bounce back about Knicks Heat.
All because of Pat Riley is the
but I don't think any of those games, none of those games, and correct me if I'm wrong, so I'm feel free, but I don't feel like many of those games were either in the Eastern Conference Finals or led to somebody getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. I feel like a lot of those matchups were either first round or second round contests. Maybe I'm wrong.
I could have swore like when Latrell Sprewell was with the Knicks and Patrick Ewing had got injured, that they had to knock off Indy to get to the finals. Don't quote me on that. And then let's see. And then you can't forget the epic Reggie and Spike going back and forth in the playoffs with each other and everything else. Yeah. So that I've got to put I don't know. Knicks and Heat, you had Lonzo Mourning and Patrick Ewing, Anthony Mason. I'm going with that. I'm still leaning more Heat and Knicks. Those two used to get
Jackets right there with he's saying Miami and New York. I don't know, man. And yes, he did confirm. Yes, I thank you. The Knicks Heat is because of a coach, right? And a coach who took a style at one place, brought it to another place. Okay, I get that.
Correct.
But neither of those teams.
And then wait a minute. Hold on. Let's take that one step further.
Those teams went
Did the two brothers ever coach against each other? But did the two brothers ever coach against each other? Stan Van Gundy and Jeff Van Gundy.
I think
Jeff was New York. Stan was Orlando. Did they ever coach each other in this rivalry? I know they coached against each other, but Knicks I don't think so. And Heat, they never crossed paths during that time.
Knicks Heat was when Sprewell was the 8. Okay, so Spree was the 8 seed versus the 1 seed Heat. See, that's what I'm talking about. Those are first round. And that was back when the first round.
But that's the year that the Knicks went to the championship. They had to beat the Heat in the first round to get to the championship. That was Sprewell's team. That's because Patrick Ewing got hurt right before the playoffs, or it may have even been in that series.
Who they play in the championship Eastern Conference Finals, Drew? I'll wait. Maybe? No, it was us. The one year the Knicks went to the finals was the year they got through us. They beat us because look. Here's how I know that series. Game 1 in the Garden. The mysterious Larry Johnson 4-point play.
Let me cut you off. Let me cut you off. I see President Faison is in the chat.
Well, unless he's weighing in on Knicks Pacers, that's what we're talking about tonight. We're talking Knicks Pacers.
But President Faison, forget what Bryan talking about. We go get to Evan Waters in just a moment because I got some stuff that you want to see. President Faison, shoot me a text. I've been trying to get you on, man. If you want to get on tonight, here is the night to get on, my brother. Since you're already in the chat.
Yeah, definitely. Congratulations to Edward Waters University, SIC baseball champions. Sadly, they don't get an opportunity to go play in the Division II playoffs. Drew will explain all that here shortly. But congratulations to
just put it on the brother. Just put it on me, man.
Huh? No, it's not your fault.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying you'll explain it. But
I gotta do explaining.
We'll get back. We'll get back to talking about Knicks Pacers in a moment. Good to see everybody. Thank you, everybody. Chuck Hunt checking in from Monroe, Louisiana. Good to see you, Chuck. Thank you. Appreciate anybody who was looking for us yesterday. My guy, Coach Ferrasi, called me. He was like, "Man, where's the show at?" I'm like, Coach. I was like, I don't think we're gonna do it tonight. And but I again, thank you for calling. Thank you, everybody who was looking for us yesterday. It means a lot, and look. I'm sorry. Blame me. It's on me because Drew wanted to do the show, but I was the one that was kind of feeling a little lazy yesterday. But anyway,
lazy,
just a little. Hey, look. We don't ask, every now and then, Drew, we don't we ask, but we don't always expect. We appreciate all the donations that come. More importantly, we appreciate any time you have made a commitment to be a part of what we do. And there's a couple ways that you can support our show and the Black College Sports Network. You can join our YouTube channel, become a member, JBN online/join. You can always be a part of our channel. We got we got 3 different payment plans. You can choose to donate. Everything goes into the Black College Sports Network coffers to help us do what we do, trying to expand our coverage and do some things in the upcoming fall. And so your membership benefits will reap its rewards, we promise. And then also, look, I'm not gonna put out my Venmo tag or anything like that, and say, hey, if you want to drop a bucket in the coin, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to do that. But I will say, if you want to donate to the show, there you see scrolling across, you could donate. You can hit the Cash App. You could choose to do that. Or you could drop something in the super chat. And so with that, that'll kind of go towards, the show. So, but if you did want to do something, I'll put my Venmo up a little bit later if you wanted to drop something in. But anyway, we appreciate all the support. You can also support us by hitting the thumbs up and the like button. However you're watching us on Facebook and YouTube, drop a thumbs up, hit a like. We appreciate everybody. Obviously, say hello to everybody watching us on Instagram Live. If you're out there, see a few people that's joined us. Thank you for joining us. Also, if you're watching us on X, we thank you for tuning in there as well. Appreciate it. Thank you again for the birthday shout outs, James Knox and Chip 4029. Thank you very much. Let's see. The heat, how's it getting? It's not, well, it's summertime. It's 90s down here in Florida. So I'm assuming spring is over. Spring is over in the South.
We probably got one more hoodie day.
Yep, hoodie day. I done packed all. I packed all mine up. I don't even expect to wear a hoodie again. I mean, that hoodies may not see me.
We had put on hoodies Saturday night at the SIAC baseball championships because after the rains came in, the temperature dropped a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into talking about the SIAC baseball tournament, Drew, since we got a couple of images and we got some things to pull up here.
And an interview with the coach after post game also.
Okay. Yeah. But reading right here from thesiac.com in Albany, Georgia. Was this the second year that Albany State hosted the SIAC championships?
4th consecutive.
Wow.
From what we calculated, it may be 5 in a row because they hosted in 19 pre-pandemic.
Okay.
Then of course 20 and 21 there was no baseball tournament.
Right.
And then they've hosted it 22, 23, and 24.
Right. And last year was the first year with the 2 campuses. So, and this year was actually the first year where they had the
They hit on, yes, they hit on both Albany State, old and new
remodeled
stadium.
baseball stadium on the original campus. I don't know what we call it.
That's
Campus
the
A,
East. That's East.
Campus. Okay, thank you. East Campus, and then campus, the West Campus
right.
is Albany State as well, and that's where the championship was held. I remember that's where it was last year.
Correct. And the bulk of the games, everything except for 4 games. 4 games were played at the East. All the rest of the games were played at the West.
Okay. Reading right here, courtesy of Edward Waters Athletics, senior right fielder Ferrante Coward's grand slam in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Talk about that. A grand slam in the bottom of the 8th sparked number 3 seed Edward Waters to a 10-5 come from behind victory over number 4 seed Savannah State, capturing the program's first SIAC baseball championship in history in the championship round of the 2024 Cricket SIAC Baseball Championship Sunday afternoon at the Albany State West Campus Baseball Complex. What an incredible 2 years it's been for Edward Waters baseball. Last year, they won the World Series last year. No,
2 years ago. That was 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, Florida Memorial won it last year. It was 2
okay.
years ago.
All right. Well, 2 years ago they won that, and then this past year they managed to win the SIAC, and as mentioned, the 3 and the 4 seeds. You may wonder. You say, well, what happened to the 1 seed, which was Albany State was the 1 seed, right?
The host institution.
Yeah, Albany State was the host and the 1 seed. They lost in the, I guess we call that the if game earlier in the day. The is it semifinal?
Yeah, it would be considered a semifinal.
Okay, but it was like winner take all.
It was a losers bracket. It was a losers bracket championship for those looking for the traditional or the elimination bracket. I hate to say losers bracket. The elimination bracket championship game.
Gotcha. All right. So Savannah State ended up they won that contest earlier in the morning, and that set up the contest against their I-95 rival. What was interesting about that stat line? You showed me the stat line from that game.
And if I had the image, I don't know if
I don't have the image, but I have the stat line because I still have your text.
It was, let's see, Savannah. Oh, I've got it. I've got it on my phone. Let's see.
You got it because I got it pulled up. I got it.
All right, pull it up. And while you do that, I am going to shoot the link to President Faison.
All right. Savannah State, here's the line. Savannah State, 5 runs on 14 hits with 5 errors. Edward Waters, 10 runs on 6 hits and 1 error. So talk about taking advantage of mistakes from your opponent. Edward Waters did that. And I believe you said it was 5-5 with the bases loaded when Coward came to the plate.
Actually, Edward Waters came into that inning trailing by a score of 5-3.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. And if you pull up the box score, I don't remember. There was a series of walks, HBPs, and error, and I think there may have been an error in that inning also that led to the run. So yeah, that's how we got there. And that's how Savannah State, that's how Edward Waters wound up getting there with only 6 hits, Brian. 10 runs on 6 hits.
Yeah.
So how they say, explain that to me.
Well, again, when I look over and the first thing that I saw when I saw the hits and then when I saw the errors, I'm like, oh, okay. How many of those were unearned runs because of those errors?
Yeah. And excuse me, President Faison, I just sent you the link.
Due to the, I'm reading again here from the release, due to EWU being in the final year of their 3-year transition to the NCAA from the NAIA, Savannah State will earn the SIAC's automatic bid to the NCAA Division II baseball tournament. Edward Waters will next turn their attention to the 2024 Tyson Foods Black College World Series, which will take place May 8th through the 11th at Riverwalk Stadium in Montgomery, Alabama. So there you go. There you see Savannah State moving on.
Who will be the SIAC representative?
Yeah. And just so you know, final record, season record, Savannah State has a 31-15 record, 21-12 in the SIC. Edward Waters finished with a 31-18 record, 21-11 in the SIC. Now, I don't know if they count tournament games in that.
No, those do not count towards conference records.
All right. All right. So,
and that's Coach Reginald Johnson and Athletic Director Ivana Rich, Dr. Rich, holding the championship trophy there.
There you go.
For Edward Waters.
All right. Yeah, I think both Albany State should be going. Should be. I don't know. Oh, Drew says no.
It's gonna be tough for Albany State to get in. They came in as the number 9 in the region. So Savannah State, obviously with the automatic bid, they will go in as an 8 seed. Unless you see a few epic collapses this week from some of the teams ranked above them, it's going to be tough. Now, I will say this, and I hate to bring this up. Should Albany State go to the Black College World Series and possibly win that, maybe that could persuade voters to give them an at-large. Maybe. I'm not counting on it. But that is a possibility because all the other conferences will be playing their conference championship this week.
Okay.
Whereas the SIAC plays their championship a week early.
Interesting. Okay, so there's an outside opportunity. And just looking right here at the Black College Nines poll from last Monday. Now, the new poll will come out sometime tomorrow. So it'll be interesting to see if there's a new number 1. But Albany State was the number 1 team in the poll last week going into this past weekend. Talladega was 2, West Virginia State was 3, Bluefield State was 4, Savannah State was 5, and Edward Waters was 6. Followed by Florida Memorial, who we'll talk about their baseball situation here in a moment, Wiley, Jarvis Christian, and Miles College. Edward Waters stands to move up a few spots, Drew, from 6. How far up might you move? Obviously, 2 of the top 5 teams in front of them lost. How high up might you see Edward Waters go? That's a tough one, right?
Are we voting this week?
Oh,
or
yeah.
let me ask the question. Are we voting this week before the World Series or after the World Series?
No, the votes are today. The votes
today?
are, people got to get their votes in by something like 10 o'clock in the morning or something.
Yeah, I need to pull up my ballot and find my ballot. Let's be real.
Yeah, be real.
The best team all season has been Albany State, hands down.
Until
in a 4-day scenario, it was Edward Waters. Albany State won the marathon. Edward Waters won the sprint. So as a voter, Which one are you going to value more? And that's what I will have to figure out tonight or early in the morning as I put my vote in. Do I value the marathon or do I value the sprint? Now, let's just go by style points and recency bias. Of the games that I saw in the SIAC championship, like I say, I saw all of them except for the 4 games that were played at the East Complex. There were no run rules except for one, Brian.
Okay.
That one run rule just happened to be Albany State getting run ruled by Savannah State.
Ooh.
I believe the score was 19-3, if I remember it correctly. Yes,
19?
it was
19.
It was something ridiculous. And you could tell after a certain point when Albany State was playing for the long haul, when they realized they were not going to come back in that game, and Savannah State's backs were just that hot, that they were playing for the long haul and trying to conserve as much pitching as possible. And I will say this, Brian, I mean, every game in that tournament was ultra competitive. Except even the one game when Albany State got run ruled, you sat back and had a feel that Albany State could get back into this game at any point in time. So very, very, very competitive baseball.
So I all that said, Drew, I don't know if you really answered the question.
I don't know which one I'm going to vote on. Right now, if you ask me, wait, but give me who was ahead of Edward Waters? You said Edward Waters.
So again, 5 in front of Edward Waters. You've got Savannah State at 5, Bluefield State at 4, West Virginia State at 3, Talladega at 2, Albany State 1. And I'm trying to look and see.
I go because Talladega won the GCAC by outrageous score.
Right.
Most people are probably going to put Talladega at 1 now.
I can see that, right? West Virginia State lost 2 of 3 versus number 22 University of Charleston.
Right.
So one of those was in extra innings, though. And they were close ball. No, I'm sorry. They lost 3 of 4. All 3 of the 3 losses were, 1 run, 2 runs, and 3 runs in extra innings.
Competitive.
Yeah, it was part of a doubleheader, a 7-inning doubleheader. So they were competitive. They lost 3 of 4 to the number 22 team in the country.
Okay.
Competitive games.
So
I'm not sure Bluefield State is whether their season is done or not until
they're going to the World Series.
Right, but I'm saying in terms of
they're independent, so
okay, so they didn't have a game, is what you're saying.
They don't have a tournament to go to.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So I'm probably dropping Albany State to 2, probably moving the Edward Waters to 3, even though I really want to put, because of the title, I'm really hell. Edward Waters beat Albany State heads up, I believe. I believe they did face heads up one time in the tournament.
Yeah.
So I'm going Edward Waters 2, right behind Talladega.
Okay. I could see. I think Edward Waters should be
Albany 3. Albany 3.
Edward Waters should be no less than 3 in anyone's poll. Nobody's, in my opinion, nobody's ranking should have Edward Waters less than 3.
Yeah.
And I understand if people wanted to give Albany State benefit of the doubt, and all that good stuff, but I get it. Yeah, Bluefield State season complete right now. They did finish with 30 wins. You mentioned that they're independent, so not much they could do in terms of improving their rankings over the weekend. And so those are the 3 teams in front of you.
Before we get off of baseball and move to softball, let's play this video of Coach Reginald Johnson talking about the victory.
A.D. Drew here, Black College Sports Network, here with the champion, Coach Reginald Johnson II. Tournament Tigers, that's y'all new nickname now. You know, we got a bunch of Tigers in this conference, but y'all don't have anything in front of y'all name, so y'all Tournament Tigers from now on, because it comes tournament time, everyone Waters wins in baseball.
Yes,
Talk
sir.
to me, Coach.
Hey, man, it's just kudos, all glory to God, and these coaches, man, my assistant coaches are amazing. Ray Otero, Jared Brown, Cody Crawford, they did an absolutely amazing job working with these guys and just with the vision and ultimately the players, man. The players got it done. So, it's just blessed to be in this position.
Yeah. Went through the tournament, came out of the winners bracket undefeated. Went through there pretty easy. Get to today. Had a lot of adversity today, Coach. You were down, you tied it down, and then it took you to the eighth inning for you guys to finally break through. Just talk about the grit and the grind to maintain and keep the confidence in the face.
It's just the resiliency of the kids, man. It's a lot of people don't understand. We've been faced with adversity all year long. We were practicing between 4 different facilities. We played between 3 different facilities, man. These guys, we from the beginning, our facility is being renovated by the city, and it's okay. And it just shows to the resiliency of these guys to stay in it, to stay locked in, to stay together, and just grind away and find a way to win.
I gotta ask you this: 5-5, bottom of the eighth inning, bases loaded. Ferrante Cowell sends the shot to left center field. What's going through your mind? Because from where I was at, it's got a chance. I think it's gonna be off the wall. Hey, that ball's carried a little bit further. He just hit a grand slam. What's going through your mind?
I mean, it's big guy, big time guys step up and make big plays, and he's a great competitor. A two-way guy, with football and baseball, and everybody in our lineup can get the job done. But Ferrante, man, he just has that grit and that will to want to make sure we get it done for the next guy. And that ball is up, and I was thinking at best, sack, at worst, sack fly, getting the job done to get us ahead. But when it just continued to carry, man, it's just kudos to Ferrante, man. Ferrante he's a dog.
Yeah, he looks like it. Hey, any last words, Coach? I know your season's not over. You got one more thing that you guys are going to be doing.
Yes.
Any last words?
Hey, man, just appreciative of all these opportunities, man. I'm just blessed, blessed to be in these positions. I'm so excited for these guys, for these seniors. Thank you to the administration. Thank you to our support staff. My entire family's here. Administrators are here. A lot of our players' families are here. Just blessed to be in these positions, man. All glory to God, and looking forward to winning another championship next week.
All right, Coach. Congratulations once again.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, my brother.
Good stuff, Drew.
Yes, sir.
Good interview.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Coach Johnson again. Nice job. Congratulations on the win.
And great job by Savannah athletic director was there, a few other athletic support staff. Even saw the softball coach who had just lost in the semifinals in Columbus a few days before. They're supporting the baseball team. So great family there at Edward Waters over there on Kings Road, how they take care and support each other. So great. You saw a few people there in purple and orange there, more than you would expect, especially considering the changes with the weather and everything else as the schedule changed a lot on Saturday and Sunday.
It's not a far drive from Albany.
No, it's really not.
Like
probably just under 3 hours. We were ready 3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good, fill up the gas tank, get some snacks, and get on and listen to a playlist of Kendrick Lamar and Drake diss records, and I mean, you be good to go. You'll be you'll be there and back before you know it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tank and a half.
Yeah, good stuff. While we're talking baseball here, before we go to break, I got to make mention of a story that came out on let me see, Saturday. And this caught you by surprise because I told you about it and you were like, huh?
Yeah.
What?
Huh? What? Who?
Yeah. Florida Memorial's baseball coach, Coach Florentino Burgos, has stepped down days before the team starts their Black College World Series trip. I'm reading from HBCU Sports.com. Florentino Burgos, who has been the baseball coach at Florida Memorial for 8 seasons, will be stepping down from his position as head coach, the school announced on Saturday. Under Burgos' guidance, the Lions achieved a record of 147 and 187 and 1, including the prestigious 2023 BCWS last year. Quoting here from Florida Memorial Director of Athletics, Jason Horn, he said, on behalf of Florida Memorial University and the Athletics Department, I want to thank Coach Burgos for his dedication and hard work. His impact of our student athletes extends far beyond the baseball diamond, fostering an environment of excellence and growth. We are grateful for his commitment to enhancing the FMU student athlete experience. Assistant Andre Payne will be the acting head coach during the team's upcoming trip to Birmingham. So Drew, I said this to you, and I'll say it here. When you resign, I think what Coach Burgos, despite what you see on the record, I think what he's done is he's been a successful coach.
Yes, especially considering the conference that they compete in.
And that's good. I want you to talk about that in a second. Given what he's done and where he's playing, I feel like when you see a resignation like this, to me, it's signaling, okay, does Coach Burgos have another opportunity somewhere else? Or the opposite being, Coach Burgos is getting out before or you know what? I thought there's maybe a third scenario. I was going to say number 2 was Burgos is getting out before something not
Drops.
so good comes down.
Something drops.
Right. Or the third thing is he and the AD just couldn't see eye to eye and he just kind of headed up the right here. I don't know which is true. I don't know Coach Burgos' contract. But I think when you have somebody who has built a program the way he's built that program and the success they've had, it's a head scratcher.
Yeah.
Head scratcher.
And I'm not going to speculate on the whys, because if there's an opportunity that he's taking elsewhere, we'll find out very soon about that opportunity. So we'll let that play itself out. But that conference, oh my God. If you don't follow NAIA baseball, first of all, don't sleep on NAIA baseball.
Right.
Because a lot of these guys who play NAIA baseball can play on the Division I level, NCAA Division I level. If there is one sport where the talent gap between the levels is minimal, it is probably baseball. I would say baseball is probably first. And then, honestly, probably the elite softball teams are probably second.
Mm-hmm.
And one reason of that is because there's not a big scholarship difference from Division I to NAIA. And what I mean by that, let me clue y'all in on something. Nobody who plays college baseball gets a full scholarship.
Right.
I'll repeat that. Nobody who plays college baseball gets a full scholarship. Even those guys you see at Oklahoma, UCLA, and everything, they are paying to play baseball. And because of that, because of that disparity, there is probably more equal talent throughout the entire baseball pool, Division I, Division II, Division III, and NAIA than any other sport. Baseball only gets 11.7 on the Division I level. I believe it's 9 on the Division II level is your max. And of course, on Division III, there are no scholarships. And I believe the number is 12 actually on the NAIA level is the number of scholarships. So I believe NAIA actually has more scholarships. So if you're going to be paying to go to play college baseball, then you go pick the school that you want to go play at. If you want to play closer to home, play closer to home. If you want to go play in California, go play in California. And the conference that they play in, if you follow NAIA baseball, well, they get one automatic bid, but they always have 5 teams in the NAIA tournament of the 64 team field. They only take 6 teams to the conference tournament. 5 of them make the NAIAs. And usually at least one of those 5 is in the Final Four every year. That's the type of competition that Tino was facing. And a lot of times he was the odd man out as the number 6 or the number 7 team in that conference. It wasn't that his teams were not good. It was just the competition was that heavy in that conference. But I'm going to cut my comments off.
Well, hold on. I'll just add one final thought there. And he did it with way less resources than probably everybody else in
those other 5 schools and a couple of those schools who finished behind him.
Yep.
Yes.
Well said. All right, now let's go ahead and take our break because we got our special guest coming up right on the other side of this break. Dr. A. Zachary Faison, the president of Edward Waters University, dropping in to join the Sports Wrap. How about that on a Monday night?
Winning all these championships. I mean, he done won volleyball, he done won softball, he done won baseball. Competitive football team this year was in the mix until the final week. Lord Jesus, man. Hey, they got it going on Kings Road. Let's take this break so we can bring the man in.
Well said. You're watching the BCSN Sports Wrap on a special Monday night. Pacers are down 10-8, just in case you wondered. Oh, make that 12-8. No, yeah. Let's go to commercial break. We'll be back in just a moment.
Supermarket sushi, really?
No. Wait, Troy, you work here?
I'm never not working. Like Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology, up to 100% dandruff protection, even between washes.
Never not working, huh?
Oh, Troy, you're such a good teacher.
Yeah, I know. Never not working. Never not working. Never, ever not working.
Are you serious?
Never not working. Dandruff protection that's never not working. Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
This is Brian Fulford. A.D. Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
All right, welcome back to the BCSN Sports Wrap live on a Monday night, and it's a pleasure to be joined by none other than the president of Edward Waters University, Dr. A. Zachary Faison. Doc, how you doing tonight?
Good evening. Good evening. How are you? How you guys doing this evening?
We're doing fine, Press. Championship City, championships on Kings Road, man. How does it feel once again?
Man, I'm just proud, man. I'm just proud of our athletic director and our coaching staff and our young women and men. I mean, they're just doing a phenomenal job. I mean, it's one thing to cast a vision, but when you have, athletic administrators, coaches, and student athletes to catch that vision and move it forward, I mean, it's just exhilarating. It's a phenomenal thing that's going on down here at Kings Road at Edward Waters University. So exciting times.
Yeah, but Doc, and the credit is with all those people that you mentioned, but you've done more than your fair share also by finding the resources. I mean, I remember coming to Edward Waters in the early to mid 2010s and coming there in 2024, man, that is not the same campus. Those are not the same facilities. There has been, under your leadership there has been major upgrades to Edward Waters College at that point, playing in the NAIA, to now Edward Waters University competing in the NCAA. Just, give yourself a little bit of credit there, Doc.
Well, we've been blessed. We've been blessed. I've had a board of trustees that trusted me, even when they might say, what is he talking about? How crazy is this? When we came and said in 2019 that we wanted to move our institution to the NCAA, I got nothing but support from our board and from our community. Everyone really bought in. So. We've been blessed. And again, when you get everyone pushing in the same direction, I can tell you, I mean, you can really make a lot of things happen. So it's been a great journey. And the best is yet to come. I tell you, we're just scratching the surface of what's going to happen here at Edward Waters. I'm telling you, we are just scratching the surface. So exciting times ahead.
If it's gonna get any better than this,
scary.
I need to put in an application coming to work at EWU.
No, we just getting started. We got a lot more in store. So good times though.
Dr. Faison, talk a little bit about how you go about getting that buy-in on athletics.
Right.
I think there's such a challenge across the landscape of not just HBCUs, but I think a lot of schools. I mean, college athletics is, I've said, I feel like it's a recession-proof business these days. I mean, you see what's coming, what's happening. What kind of things did you do, maybe specifically, or maybe some things you could share to kind of get people within that network that you have, or the shareholders or stakeholders, maybe as some people might say, to really buy into the vision of improving athletics and really making it that doorstep to now all of a sudden people are more interested. I think I saw applications have gone up, enrollment has gone up, all, probably in large part to athletic visibility and success.
Yeah, well, I'll say a couple of things. First, I think, my own personal experience. So, I'm an Albany State graduate, and then went to the University of Georgia for law school, graduate school. And both of my personal experiences at Albany State, big football program, big football school in the SIAC, just a traditional power there. And seeing what that does to galvanize a community, right? That's a small Southwest Georgia, but on those Saturdays, the town at one time shut down, literally, because everyone came out to support, Albany State Golden Ram football. And then, of course, going on to the University of Georgia, I mean, Athens is, it's bigger than the Falcons. I'll be honest. In Georgia, probably like in Alabama or in other places, it is the biggest thing going on in the state, and it drives enrollment. It drives finances. It is the primary economic driver for that university. It doesn't mean that, of course, the academics are not important. They are a top Southern public state institution. But let's be very clear: the revenue that is generated from University of Georgia football is unprecedented, right? And so that's a reality, and I don't think it's something that us as higher education leaders that we need to shrink from. I think it's something that we need to embrace because it's a gift that keeps giving. What folks don't talk about is the fact that we've launched 10 academic degree programs in the last 5 years here at Edward Waters. 6 on the undergraduate, 4 graduate degree programs. As you mentioned, we're going from Edward Waters College to Edward Waters University. That doesn't happen without the branding and notability that we've been able to experience from an athletic perspective. Other thing that I share with you is I saw a quote some time ago by Billy Joe. I know you know him well as a former FAMU coach and coached at Miles at Central State. And Billy Joe said this. He, great coach, legendary coach. But he said, winning starts in the president's office. Winning starts in the president's office. If you don't have a president that is bought in, that is invested, good luck as an athletic director, good luck as a head coach or assistant coach, and good luck as a student athlete. And I believe in that. And again, I'm not shy about saying that athletics is the proverbial front porch, I believe, to our institution. We certainly have some prodigious academic programs, but the average 16 to 18-year-old, believe it or not, I was 16, 17, 18 at one time, has not heard perhaps of the University of Georgia. They have a great law school, a top 20 law school, right? Folks may not know that, but they know about Georgia Bulldogs. They know about Kirby Smart. They've heard of Stetson Bennett and Nick Chubb, and they've heard of these guys, right? And so these are places that young people want to gravitate to. So again, I think it's something that we have to embrace. I don't think the two are mutually exclusive. We can be superlative in our academic exploits and at the same time also be superlative in our athletic endeavors as well.
Go ahead, Drew.
All right, Coach. Since we're talking about athletics, and if you've never been to Edward Waters, you may not understand this question that I'm about to ask Dr. Faison. But I need you to talk about your fandom. Not only are you an athletic supporter, but you are probably the number one. Now, the president is the number one fan at any institution by his title, but he really wears the moniker of the number one fan to the point where sometimes officials have had to, talk to him, and people like, that's the president, man. I'll go over there and say something to him, but I can't say too much because I want to get my every 2 weeks, But just in general, just talk about your fandom and where it comes from. Obviously, we know that it drives some of the decisions, some of the passions that you have for your university there. But just talk about your fandom.
Well, I mean, I grew up a sports fan. I mean, I had a dad that was, big in sports, and I was exposed to sports at a young age. Played, baseball, basketball, football, tennis. Whatever season it was, I played. Played some in high school or what have you. And so I just been a big interested in athletics and sports, my whole life. And then the passion that I have for it. I think that as a leader, you have to demonstrate those qualities that you want others to emulate. And if you're not passionate about it, if you just kind of, laissez-faire, it's no big deal, then that's kind of, the nature of kind of how your program and how your coaches and how your AD is going to kind of approach things. And so, sometimes I can get a little bit overly passionate, like AD talked about, but I think you got to care, right? And I think that kind of approach, it really trickles down. I think you've seen some transformation here because all of our coaches are energetic, all of them are passionate, and we set a standard. Our standard is not just to be in the SIAC. That's never. We are coming there to dominate and to win, right? And like you mentioned, we've been in now competing in the conference for 2 years, and Coach Ford's brought home volleyball SIAC championship. Coach Mike Ellison back-to-back softball championships. Now we've got a baseball championship with Coach Reginald Johnson, and football and basketball are on the way. I promise you. I told them 3 years ago we were coming, and folks didn't believe me, but they're going to believe us soon enough. We are coming. We're coming.
He said it first, folks. Dr. Faison said it first before someone else said it. He said it first, just to be matter of fact. You know, it just didn't get the national attention that that other guy.
Yeah, right. Doc, talk about your partnership that you have there with the city of Jacksonville, because you have some like I said, you've had some facility upgrades and improvements. I know you got the new tennis courts that have come online. You partnered with the city to build your on-campus football stadium, because you guys were renting out high school stadiums wherever you could get them at one point in time. They're renovating you guys' baseball stadium, which is a city-owned facility. Not quite sure. I think they're doing some stuff with your softball also.
Yep, that's correct. That's correct.
Just talk about, first of all, just forging those partnerships with the city of Jacksonville, considering that you are the only college football team in the city of Jacksonville, and just kind of talk about that.
That's right. Well, I really have to give a lot of credit to my predecessor, Dr. Nathaniel Glover. He really was very, very instrumental in initiating the partnership from an athletic perspective between Edward Waters and the city. It was during his tenure that the funds for the stadium, that first conversation really first began to take hold, and a commitment was made from the city to give us about $4.4 million to build the stadium that we have on campus. So he certainly deserves, credit for that. I was able to come in and help get it across the finish line to do some things politically to make it happen from that perspective. But certainly that was a game changer for our campus community. I think beyond that, during my tenure, certainly the work that we've been able to do last year, we were able to garner about $500,000 from the city to build an on-campus fitness and wellness center on our campus, which doubles, as a brand new state-of-the-art weight room. It's got, all the bells and whistles, got all the pools and tubs in the back for our student athletes. It's got an indoor playing surface area for our student athletes, new cardio equipment, like a state-of-the-art, weights, free weights, machines, and all of that. And so that's been a huge addition for our campus. I like to brag about the fact that 2 years ago, we opened up what I consider to be the best NCAA Division II HBCU arena in the country. And I really believe that. Shouts out to my good friend, Dr. Abdullah at Virginia State. They got a cathedral up at Virginia State, but it's kind of cavernous to me. But ours is a little bit more intimate. But it's a phenomenal facility. If you have not seen it, it's the most unique floor in all of Division II. We have skyboxes, brand new bleachers. It's a great facility. So we're really,
don't forget that video board.
Yep, brand new video board. You're exactly right. Brand new video board as well. We're really excited to really have upgraded that facility again. I think it's the best, not only the best in our conference, but I think it's the best at the Division II level for all HBCUs. As you just mentioned, we just did brand new tennis courts on our campus, and had our first tennis program launched this past spring. We launched women's tennis here at Edward Waters with 4 brand new NCAA regulation tennis courts on the campus. So just a lot of real upgrades. We just also, under Dr. Rich's leadership, just launched a new athletic academic center on the campus, just for our student athletes, brand new computers, all of what they need there to get that kind of academic support that our student athletes are desirous of and need in that regard. So just a whole lot. Brand new, just this past year, we debuted our new President's Suite out at the stadium. So we're able to now use that space to cultivate donors and have our alums that are members of our Tiger Club at Edward Waters that want to support athletics have a space for them as well. So a lot of significant upgrades. I had the benefit of also having one of our distinguished alums, Samuel Newby, who was the president of the city council here in Jacksonville, and that's actually how that that new wellness facility came on board. So we're, again, really, really blessed and have had some great relationships with the city of Jacksonville. They see the value. They see the value in investing in our city's only HBCU. So we're looking forward to additional partnerships to come. But it has really been a great partnership, and one that we're looking forward to being able to grow and expand in the future.
Edward Waters, one of 4 HBCUs in the state of Florida, but the oldest HBCU in the state of Florida.
I love to say, I know I got 2 rattlers on here, but I love to say, before there was a rattler, before there was a lion, or before there was a Bethune-Cookman Wildcat, there was a tiger at Edward Waters University. So we're excited about that, very proud about that.
We still gonna hold on to the highest of Seven Hill and the only public.
I know you gotta do it, absolutely, for sure.
Hey, Dr. Faison, let me ask, because you know, as Drew just kind of following up, talking about the relationship with the city of Jacksonville, I'm curious. What I love about not only your vision, your impact, how passionate you are at games, but you're also not afraid to speak your mind in public places. A couple of months ago, you put it out there. You let the city of Jacksonville know that, hey, Edward Waters has been around for 160 years, and we are here. I'm curious, over the past couple of months, what has the reaction been, or have you started to see businesses sort of open their eyes and say, oh yeah, they are there, or have you seen the improvements, or maybe talk a little bit about what has sort of resulted over the couple months since the tweet and you kind of putting some people on blast for some I'm not gonna call them ignorant statements, but for lack of knowledge statements.
Yeah, no, it's funny that you mentioned that. That did cause some rancor in the city or what have you, and that wasn't my intent. You know, I was at a meeting with some city officials, and we were talking about, you know, some additional partnerships perhaps that might that folks would consider in partnering with us, and a person said to me, well, you know the issue is no one knows about Edward Waters. You all don't do enough to get yourself out there, and no one knows about Edward Waters. No, people in the city just no one knows that you all exist, and I really took offense to that, because you know, to be a native of Jacksonville and to say that you don't know anything about Edward Waters, to me, says more about you than it does about us. We've been here 160 years with the first HBCU in this state, not the first HBCU, only the first HBCU, but the little known fact that we're the first private independent institution of higher learning in this entire state, white or black, right? And we've been here in Jacksonville over 100 years. Right. And so, you know, to me, it was patronizing to say that, you know, we've been here. We are stalwart in this community. And I mean, you got to be, you know, Stevie Wonder not to see the tremendous growth that has taken place at this institution over the past 5 or 6 years. With the fastest growing HBCU in this state, fastest growing institution in this city. We're growing faster than any other institution here in Jacksonville. And so, you know, it caused some folks to be a little uncomfortable, but that was okay as far as I was concerned. I wanted folks to feel a little bit uncomfortable with regard to when opportunities come for institutions of higher learning in this city. We expect Edward Waters to be at the table. And if we're not at the table, I'm going to say something about it. That's my job. And so, you know, that rankled a few feathers, but I will tell you what came out of that, though, is that folks now are a little bit more cognizant to make sure that we are being included in conversations and opportunities that come to institutions here in Jacksonville. And a matter of fact, Will Brown, who's a FAMU graduate, works for Jacksonville Today, wrote a great piece a couple of weeks later talking with some of the folks in the business community. And they said, you know what, President Faison, it was an inconvenient truth and it didn't make us feel real good, but what he said really resonated. There was a lot of truth to it. And so we've seen positive results, you know, from that. About a month or so later, we had our 3rd annual Mayor's Mass Ball here in Jacksonville, which brings out a lot of the folks in the business community. And it was very successful. We raised about $350,000 just in that one night for scholarships for students. So we're seeing the buy-in take place. We've still got work that we have left to do to get everyone around this city and this community to buy in to what we're doing here at Edward Waters. But I'm encouraged by the progress that we're making.
Well, definitely. I definitely think you served notice, and it was a beautiful thing to see. So,
right. Yeah. Hey, Bryan, he also issued another challenge, and that was to our institution.
Oh.
I did.
He said, Dr. Faison said,
President Robinson got on to me. He said, "Man, I didn't do it. It wasn't me. It was my AD." I said, "Well, look, I got to go straight to the top. When this past year, they scheduled some school all the way out in California, and here we are at D2, an hour and a half, 2 hours down the road. I'm like, you're gonna give them the guarantee money? I mean, we right here. We would have brought our band. There are a lot of ties between FAMU and Edward. I know a lot of folks whose cousins, brothers, sisters went to Edward Waters, went to FAMU. The former chair of my board is a proud Marching 100 former drum major. I mean, there's just so many connections between these two institutions, and I'm like, you went all the way to California and you got a D2 right here. Like,
but your schedule, your schedule was already full, Dr. Faison.
Faison said he would have called Commissioner Holloman and said, y'all got to move that game, and call Jim Hall and say, move that game.
With fam. So, but President Robinson said that going forward, if you all schedule any D2s, I don't know if y'all scheduling any D2s anymore anytime soon, but we'll be top on the list, hopefully. I'm hoping so.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know what next year's schedule looks like, but who knows?
Just don't go to California. We right here.
Yeah, Hey, I understand it. I understand it.
We would have given a more competitive game than they did too, because I think they put up like 70 on this school in California. We would have at least sneezed on you a little bit. Coach Morgan would have done a little something.
It would have been a good crowd. It would have been a good crowd. It would have been a good halftime show, and if nothing else, I won't disagree there.
But I'm gonna take it one step further. Actually, basketball, softball, baseball. I think the two institutions do need to cross over a little bit more if they're gonna play down and play a Division II. Why not play and keep the money in the state?
Absolutely. That was my thing. Listen, we're right up the road here. If you go, I don't know how much they paid out to the school in California, but hey, let's keep it in the family, right?
Exactly.
I agree. And definitely, look, there's some opportunities, I think, in several sports. Absolutely. Where I think it would be great to see the Florida HBCUs competing against each other in some form or fashion. I mean,
listen, basketball makes the most sense. It really does. We ought to be doing some kind of roundup between Florida Memorial, Edward Waters, FAMU, and Bethune-Cookman. We ought to be doing some kind of preseason, something like they do, between the four Florida HBCUs. Just to bring all of our alums out. Let's pick a central location and make that happen. I mean, it would be a phenomenal event. It'd be great for the culture, right?
There you go. Yes, indeed. Yes, it would be, and I think it'd be a great.
I could sign off on.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the attendance and numbers and everything would be good.
Absolutely. Do some recruitment around it. We can bring our admissions recruiters. I just think it would be a great, great, great opportunity for all of our institutions to really be showcased, throughout our state.
We gotta work on that. We gotta
make that happen. We gotta make that happen. We can make that an event. I mean, we could really make that an event that would benefit all of our institutions and showcase, the rich history of our institutions and our contemporaneous relevance. So I think it'd be a phenomenal event. So I'm in. Y'all work on who y'all got to work on, but
we'll work on our end. We got it. We'll do what we need to do on our end. What else you got, Drew?
No, I was gonna say I don't want to take up too much of Doc's time. He's a busy man. I know he's got to do He's got to do the best that he can out there, get money in. Believe your guys just had graduation this past weekend. Is that correct?
This Saturday.
Oh, this is upcoming Saturday.
And it's looking like it will be our, if not our largest, our second largest. We kind of, it's final exams right now, so we're trying to see who's gonna make it through. But we've got a chance to have our largest class in the history of the institution. So we're really, really, really excited about this Saturday. All the young women and young men and their families that have worked so hard to see this day. For me as president, it's the most special day of the entire academic year. So we're looking forward to commencement on Saturday.
The one thing that trumps the championships is graduation. I'm assuming.
Absolutely. But listen, I want to thank you guys for what you all do. I watch the show all the time. I was looking for it last night. I was like, well, wait a minute, because we won that championship yesterday. So I was like, wait a minute, where's the BSN Sunday night show? And I'm like, it's not on. So I was glad to see you all come on tonight, because I was looking for it last night. I was looking for it. So
I was driving home from Albany back home, and it just logistically wasn't a good fit last night. But
y'all made up for it because you're on tonight. So I appreciate it. We wanted to get our little time in the sun for Coach Reggie and our guys, man. Again, it was historic for us. First SIAC championship in baseball in the history of the institution. So it's big deal for us.
Yeah, indeed. And I love the way you guys celebrate and you take care of all the coaches and student athletes too. So
yes.
Great job. All right. So congratulations to all of the future graduates next weekend. You guys have a great graduation, commencement, and everything. Any shout outs or plugs you want to give before we let you go, Doc?
Yeah, I certainly want to give a shout out again to who I think is the best, director of intercollegiate athletics in the country, Dr. Ivana Rich, and the job that she's done in her entire administration. Certainly to our head baseball coach, Coach Reginald Johnson. It's 2 out of 3 years that he's now headed to the HBCU World Series, and looking forward to him and our guys, bringing home another HBCU national championship, hopefully in the coming week or so. And congratulations to him. Super shout out to Ferrante Coward. He was the MVP of the tournament, and he is also a phenomenal football player. He was one of our leading receivers in football as well, so he's doing double duty there. And I put out a tweet earlier, said Dion who, because we got a two-sport star here at Edward Waters. And so, again, shouts out to our entire athletic department. Just really a great job this year, certainly to all the student athletes. And again, to you all, AD and Bryan, thank you all for what you do in showcasing HBCU sports and athletics. And you all give the D2s some shine as well. So I know AD's a Tuskegee guy and a FAMU guy, so I know he's got a heart for our D2s, particularly in the SIAC as well. So again, just thank you all for all that you all do in showcasing HBCU sports and HBCU athletics.
And I will say this, Dr. Faison, on behalf of the Black College Sports Network, there is no school that we feel more indebted to than Edward Waters for all that your university and your athletic department, from a woman on man down, that supports and helps us be able to spotlight your university. So we love Edward Waters. We always are there for Edward Waters when we need to be. So thank you. Let me say that to you. Most importantly, thank you.
Appreciate you guys. Listen, have a great evening. Thank you all for all you do.
Good stuff. Good stuff. At the president on the birthday show. Shout out to Edward Waters.
Yes.
All right. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Yeah. It can't get any better than that, man.
No. The only way it gets better is if I see if my Pacers are winning right now. As I looked up for a half a second, I saw that we were up by 2. So when we come back from the break, try to get a update as we are watching Game 1 in the Garden. Pacers-Knicks in the East. Coming up on the other side of this break, we'll talk about a new basketball coach in Jackson State. And a few people, Drew, want to kind of talk about that major gift that's coming through at that came through at FAMU. So yeah, we'll bring it up. Let me give a shout out to Mary 305's sister. I didn't see you put her name in there, Mary. She shares a birthday with your boy. So shout out to the May 6th birthdays, Team Taurus. Shout out to anybody who's a Taurus that's out there watching and listening. Shout out to
not everybody.
Huh?
Not everybody.
All right.
Perfect.
I'm gonna leave it.
Yeah, leave that one alone.
Drew, you silly. All right. On that note, let's go ahead and take a break. I don't know. Drew's just throwing all kinds of shade and Kool-Aid at somebody. I'm not even gonna step into that one. All right. You're watching the BCSN Sports Wrap on a Monday night edition, right here on the Black Color Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU Sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
Okay, welcome back to the BCSN Sports Wrap. Bryan and A.D here on the birthday show / watch party for the Knicks Pacers Game 1 Eastern Conference. My guy, Pacers up 35-32, about middle of the second quarter. I love to see my guy, Miles Turner, doing his thing right now. I got Miles Turner on a prop. Points over 16 points. So it looks like, I don't know, he's doing his thing. Want to encourage everybody, if you want to bless the show on this birthday Monday, you can always leave a super chat. $1, $2, whatever you feel like giving. You can always do that. That's definitely appreciative. Or as you see down on the scroll, you could drop a line on Cash App. MyJBN, MyBCSN. There's the Cash App handle. Appreciate that. And hey, if you're a Venmo user, you want to send me something just as a little happy birthday, something. I won't say no. DRB365, DRB365, same as my Twitter handle. That's what you can do. So yeah. 37-36. Thanks for the quick update right there. Josh Hart with a bucket. Drew and I were kind of debating a little bit earlier Eastern Conference playoff series. Most most I don't know if the word is impactful, most interesting series over the last 20, 25 years. I'm a little biased, I know. So let's say the last 30 years, since the 90s, right? I would say Pacers-Knicks would be, because of the drama, would be one. Drew actually would say Heat-Knicks would be one. And I can't think of is there another Drew? Is there I mean, we're talking 90s now. So you can't include Boston. You can't include Boston. You can't include Boston, Detroit. You can't include Boston, Philly, because we haven't really seen those be rivals since the 80s.
Chicago fell off after Jordan.
Chicago's fallen off after Jordan, so they haven't really been relevant over the past 25 years.
Cleveland, I mean, minus LeBron, but
I don't even remember.
Cleveland never really have a rival, though. They never really had a rival.
Maybe Cleveland, you know what? Cleveland, Boston might have. Those are some interesting games. Cleveland, Boston might have been some interesting games.
Yeah, I'm really trying to.
How about this one? Bulls, Knicks. Did we just no? Okay, yeah, but see, has that really done anything over the last 20-something years?
Not post Jordan and post Ewing.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Cameron.
It was
Thank
good
you very
growing
much.
up.
Bless you. Thank you.
Yeah, you got me on that one, Brian.
Yeah, and Edwin taught. Now, see, Edwin, you got some East versus West Coast, East Coast, Eastern Conference, Western Conference. Now, we're talking just Eastern Conference. Boston and Chicago. When would Boston versus Chicago? And again, we can't include the 80s. We're saying from 90s forward. I like the Bulls Knicks.
How about Detroit, Philly? Especially in the late 90s and the 2000s, you're talking Allen Iverson into those Detroit championship teams with Ben Wallace and those competitive teams. I think that may be another one that you might be able to put up there.
Marvin said, "I'm born to hate Boston." Yeah. Unfortunately, Philly, the Knicks invaded Philly. New York fans invaded Philly. Boy, that was something.
Yes,
that was impressive. Let me see. All right, we'll come back to the comments here a little bit later.
Let's get to some softball right quick, Brian, before we move.
Yeah, because I see the SWAC. The SWAC just released their awards. The SWAC tournament starts tomorrow. So I love the SWAC awards that just came out. But you were talking about the SIAC and the CIAA, right?
Correct. And unlike in baseball, and we can talk about this if you want, if we get a moment. You actually see teams come out the elimination bracket in softball. And we had both of our HBCU conference champions come out of the elimination bracket to win their respective softball tournament. Where on Sunday, Bowie State defeated an undefeated Claflin 2 times, where they defeated them 1 time on Saturday and forced the if game on Sunday, winning the game Saturday by a score of 5-4, and then turning around on Sunday and won the game by a score of 11-8. So that was your CIAA champion. And I was also last week, Brian, before I went to the baseball championship, I was at the SIAC softball championship, where I witnessed Spring Hill come out of the elimination bracket to defeat Lane twice on last Wednesday by a score of 8-4 in the first game and 4-3 in the second game. And everybody, let me tell you something. Don't let that 8-4 score fool you in the first championship game, Brian. One of the probably 50-50 play, Brian, if I ever saw a 50-50 play in my life that determined a championship, It was in that particular game where with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning with a runner on second base, Lane hit the ball. There was a play at the plate. And literally, mind you, I'm working this game, so I'm the PA, and the PA is controlling the music. I have my hand on the button to play the song "Cool in the Gang Celebration," by the way, everybody, for the game was over with. And the runner from Lane was out at the plate on a bang, 50-50. If he calls her safe, nobody argues. He called her out, nobody argued. It was that close of a play. Now, everybody wanted her to be safe. Not that anybody was cheering for Lane, but we knew if Spring Hill won that game, we was going to be there for another 3 hours because we had to play the if game. And then in the top of the 8th inning, Spring Hill put up 4 runs to go ahead and take the lead, to win the game. Take the lead and ultimately hold on and win the game. And then, Brian, if you think that drama was a lot for you in the first championship game, Brian, in the winner-take-all game, score tied 3-3, bottom of the 7th inning, Brian. Spring Hill has bases loaded with 1 out. Lane brings the infield in. You get a ground ball to second base. They throw the runner out at the plate. 2 outs, Brian. And then, what do you know? A hit, what you call a CNI hit between first base and second base, gets into right field to win the ball game. A perfectly placed ball. If that ball is 3 feet either direction, either one of those players make the play. And it got through that one little hole where it could get through for Spring Hill to win the game. And yes, I have my hand on the button for that one also. So, as soon as she touched the plate.
I'm just looking at the Twitter handle at HBCU Softball, their final Division II NAIA polls, and then I was also taking a glance at the Division II regional rankings. So according to HBCU Softball, their final D2 NAIA poll, Stillman is number 1, followed by Lane College at 2, West Virginia State at 3, Tuskegee at 4, Fort Valley State at 5. The bottom 5, or the next 5, consists of Edward Waters, Bowie State, Virginia State, Albany State, and Florida Memorial. Now, and looking at the region rankings as of April 28th, Drew, I don't see any of those schools in the top 10 in any region, not the Atlantic, where you might see a
that's what the CIAA would be. That's what CIAA would be also.
Okay.
And West Virginia State.
Yeah, nobody there. Nobody in the East.
Oh, we're not in the, nobody's plays in the East.
Nobody.
So South will be the next one.
Nobody in the South,
which is where the SIAC plays.
Yeah, nobody in the Southeast.
Well, we don't have anybody in the Southeast.
Yeah. So yeah, I get, when you see that, seasons are over.
But except for the auto bids.
Well, wouldn't the auto bids even get so
yeah, they get an 8. They would get an 8.
But they're not even ranked though. So what do you doesn't matter?
It's the conference champion.
Okay. All right. So Spring Hill
so
out of the SIAC and Bowie State
out of the CIAA.
All right. The SWAC softball tournament beginning in Gulfport, Mississippi tomorrow starts Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. Games will be on the SWAC Digital Network. And I think I haven't even checked with Charles, but usually our good friend Charles Edmond is usually on the call for that. So he should be there if I'm not mistaken. But the SWAC awards just came out. The co-freshman of the year belongs to Kayla Adams, a pitcher, a freshman for UAPB, along with co-freshman of the year Zoriana Hughes, pitcher from FAMU, also a freshman. The newcomer of the year is Florida A&M's Samantha Smith. She is a pitcher. The junior is the SWAC newcomer of the year. The SWAC pitcher of the year, Zoriana Hughes, a freshman, FAMU. I called that, by the way. We called that on Wednesday's show. We kind of put the stats out there to let people know if she wasn't pitcher of the year, we were going to bring the pitchforks down to Gulfport, Mississippi. The hitter of the year is from Prairie View. It's a catcher, Viviana Figueroa. She's a senior at Prairie View. She is the hitter of the year. And the overall player of the year is also from Prairie View, Mia Nunez, a sophomore. And just in case you didn't know, PV sitting at a 23-1 conference record. Florida A&M won the East, PV won the West. Try Again says, I can't see any team beating PV. Well, they haven't played anybody from the East Division. So let's just see. Because if you ask me, I'm a little biased, but usually, Drew, what do they say in baseball and softball really matters around tournament time?
Good pitching beats good hitting any day of the week. And the pitching in both baseball and softball has been in the East lately.
Yes, and this year, Florida A&M has the best pitching. Now, Bethune-Cookman, I think, has some good pitching as well. So it'll be interesting to kind of see in that semifinal round, assuming Bethune wins, how they manage and how they go up against Prairie View. But, hey, look, because the numbers, Prairie View is a good hitting team. So, I don't know. If this is – and I think Alabama State last year played in the championship game against Prairie View. I don't know the final score, but it'll be interesting. The co-coaches of the year in the SWAC. Shout out to friend of the program, the O&G on Wednesday, Coach Camise Patterson, in her second year as the head coach at Florida A&M, gets co-coach of the year along with Prairie View's Vernon Bland. So just kind of fitting that the two top teams in the East and West get to share in that co-coach of the year.
Yeah.
So tournament play starts this weekend. I believe the MEAC
starts tomorrow, didn't it? Doesn't it start tomorrow?
Oh, it does. It starts tomorrow morning, 10:30.
Yeah.
10:30 a.m., which is Central Time, so 11:30. So that would be 11:30 Eastern. Again, on the SWAC Digital Network.
Right. Correct.
I was gonna say, do you know when the MEAC thing is?
I could pull it up, but I was going to tell you when the NAIA starts.
Okay.
Excuse me. When the NAIA selection show comes out.
Okay.
For softball, NAIA selection comes out tomorrow. And I believe Stillman may be the only team that has a realistic shot of getting into NAIA softball, and that would be as an at-large.
Who was that again?
Stillman. Because
okay.
they finished third. They finished third in the Southern States Conference.
Gotcha.
They won the regular season, and they finished third in the tournament. So they may have a outside chance. No, did they win it? No, they did not win. I think they finished second in the regular season, so they did not get the automatic bid. And baseball comes out on May 9th. So we know that Talladega will be in for baseball since they won the GCAC tournament. Matter of fact, the last championship with the GCAC moniker goes to Talladega.
Okay. Yeah, I guess so.
Yes. So they'll find out their fate at 4 o'clock. And excuse me, those are central times that I gave out. So both Tuesday and Thursday, 4 o'clock central. So that'd be 5 o'clock Eastern on both of those. So at Talladega will probably be the lone HBCU representative in the tournament.
Just looking at the kind of softball rankings, Week 12, Division I from at HBCU softball. They list Tennessee State as the number 1 team. Prairie View being 2, Morgan State 3, Howard 4, Florida A&M 5. Tennessee State plays in a tougher conference, the Big South OVC, and they've got a pretty good record. Although I don't know if I got to look into whether Tennessee State is in the tournament this weekend or it's next weekend for softball. But
we'll be checking that.
I don't know. Last week Howard was number 1. So again, yes, thank you, Emmett. Appreciate it. Pacers up 55-49 at the half. I will tell you, Drew, I was very worried about how the Pacers would play in game 1 because historically, I feel like the Garden has been troubled for the Pacers organization in game 1s. Now, here's what worries me. Second half Knicks. Second half Knicks have been ridiculous in the playoffs. Ask Philly. I was nervous about this game, and now I'm even more nervous because the Pacers have a 6-point lead, and I know that is not going to hold in the second half. I will be surprised if that holds. I'm expecting some foolishness in the fourth quarter, Drew. I'm telling you, just get your popcorn ready because in the fourth quarter, Brunson is going to do some ridiculous stuff. He might go 6 of 6, 7 of 7. With 4 threes on his back. I don't know. It's just going to be ridiculous. I just know it. I hope I'm wrong, but yeah.
Yeah. And you asked about the MEAC softball championships, May 8th through 12th at Norfolk State, the Norfolk State softball field. And coming up on Wednesday, game 1. Starting at 9 a.m. Central versus South Carolina State. Game 2 at noon, Coppin State versus Maryland Eastern Shore. Game 3 at 3, Morgan State versus the winner of game 1. And game 4 is Howard versus the winner of game 2. Looks like they only have six teams competing in the championship. They took the top 6 is what it looks like the MEAC has done. And then you take your bracket on from there. Championship is set for Saturday at 12 o'clock on ESPN Plus. And the If Necessary game will follow at 3 o'clock. I'm assuming that will not be televised.
The game will not be televised.
The If game will not be televised.
No, if.
Yes. So that's that should be it.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm trying to see if there's any other. I guess it's on BAC Digital will, I'm assuming, carrying the rest of the games.
MEAC Digital. Okay.
Yes.
Shout out to
which is available on YouTube, everybody.
Yeah. Real quick shout out to Mo Carter and the great broadcast SWAC Digital Network of the track and field on Saturday. That was some pretty good stuff. Ferrasi, Coach Ferrasi.
You was looking at the comment I was laughing about.
Look, I don't want to talk about this. I want to save this for Wednesday, but it would be wrong of us to just hold it not fair to Drew, because I'd rather talk about Jackson State and their new head coach. But I'm not gonna be, I'm not gonna be messy. I'm all right. So and this is such a so many ways. Look, we're not. I don't think either myself or Drew are gonna get as deep in the woods as some other shows have been today. I will say that.
We all know what show we're talking about.
And I appreciate the skepticism, because I tell you what sad is. And so here we go. Florida A&M University received a near $250 million donation at graduation on Saturday. A check or a donation in the amount of $237.75 million was bestowed upon the FAMU Foundation by the Isaac Batterson Seventh Family Trust and their CEO, Gregory Jerami. That number doubled the university's total endowment of $121 million. It is currently the largest single donation to an HBCU ever. All right. Now, that was Saturday.
Graduation.
I don't know if it took a full 12 hours for CSI Twitter to begin trying to put together, well, who is Gregory Jerami? Who is the Batterson Farms Corporation? Who is the Isaac Batterson Seventh Family Trust? Who is this? No, I did not duck the show. I refuse to say I ducked the show. I didn't want to do the show because Drew was on the road traveling and I wanted peace for a night. But look, I'm doing a show today on my birthday, so get off me, everybody. Anybody who might say I'm ducking, I'm here. And since we're talking about it, you can go ahead and anybody who donate in the super chat, then doggone it. Send $2, $5, whatever you want to donate. But anyway, what amazes me, Drew, out of the 12 hours, I don't even think it was a full 12 hours after graduation, was how CSI Twitter was trying to investigate all of this and how this came to be and who did what, where did this money come from? I was simply initially told or initially heard that $24 million was going towards athletics, which I was like, wow, that's great. Then it came out via the Tallahassee Democrat that no, about $100 million are going towards FAMU athletics, with $24 million specifically targeted improvements to the field house, the Gallimore field house, which if you think about what they could do with that, the improvements, you could redo the offices, locker rooms, meeting rooms. You could even, if you made it a double or triple story building, you could include suites and some other things that would really improve the look of the stadium on that end zone, the south end zone, right? So that's what came out of it. And again, what's amazed me, Drew, is the skepticism that comes from this gift. And I will say this. I look at the people, and there's a video of Jerami sitting at a table with the president, the foundation chair, who's also the dean of the School of Business and Industry, the president of the board of trustees, and some other people I'm not really familiar with. But I'm looking at all those individuals at the board, and I'm saying, why do I doubt that this group of people, along with other board members of the trustees, possibly even board of regents, because Drew, if you were giving this kind of funds, don't you think the board of regents, which oversees all the universities, don't you think they know about this? I do.
I would hope they would have known about it before you and I did.
Right. Thank you. All right. So the people in leadership would have vetted the hell out of this. Dotted I's, crossed T's, double, triple check this. And this process did not just happen overnight. This wasn't like I hit the lottery. Like if I hit the lottery tonight, I'm riding to Tallahassee, and after I go pick up my check, I'm going right over to FAMU. This isn't that, right? This is not that. This is like, hey, we want to understand who this person is, where this money's coming from, how this is going to work, blah, blah, blah.
Is this money clean?
I mean,
I'm just saying that's one of the first things you need to ask.
If that's
don't wash your money in my wash machine.
If that's what you ask people from trust companies, do you ask no, hold on, stop.
Just in general. No, just in general. When you talk about that kind of money, I'm not saying just because it's trust, but when you start talking larger sums of money and people come out of the thing, is the money clean? That's, I mean, as a institution, you have to ask this because you don't want to get caught up.
Sure. Okay.
That's fair. I'm not
that's all part of the vetting.
anything.
Yes.
Yeah,
you're
that's part of that vetting.
Right. That's all part of the vetting process. I gotta believe that's all part of the vetting that goes on in this. And this happened over 6 months. This whole process, almost, I would venture to say, Drew, imagine an entire school year. From beginning of fall semester all the way to graduation day. And the FAMU communications even made it be known after hearing about some of the skepticism that was floating about, to remind and let people know that the actual funds, the stocks, and I'm gonna read from the communications, which I got sent to me, and it's been public from the university communications. It says here, while a non-disclosure agreement was signed that prevents them from disclosing many details, Mr. Jerami transferred $237.75 million worth of stocks into our account last month. The stock transfer was received in the same manner in which we have accepted all other stocks donated to the university through the FAMU Foundation, Inc. As with any non-cash gift received, such as cryptocurrency, real estate, and stocks, it will be converted to cash and recorded appropriately. So this isn't the first time. This isn't the last time. And I would venture to say, Drew, this is probably how it's done at a lot of institutions with a lot of foundations, right? But we are so conditioned to be pessimistic about good things and good blessings. But at the same time, we see, for example, with various states across the United States, how much money they owe HBCUs. And we're conditioned and we're so skeptical that we'll never see that money. Right? So here, when you get a big gift like this, we go to instant skepticism because the donor is not a visually.
We didn't ask these questions about Mackenzie Scott.
We didn't. We just, hey, well, she was married to Jeff Bezos. Okay. I mean, there are other, so I just, it's sad. It's disappointing to hear the skepticism, but I'm choosing to stand on the side of optimism that FAMU is being blessed right now, and that there are credible people who would not allow for something negative, for their name to be attached to something like negatively. You know what I'm saying?
There's too many PhDs, EDSs, and other people with a lot of initials that I hope, with all the initials that they have in front and behind their name and all the education, that they would not get catfished.
Right.
Because that would be a bad look. That's number one. Number two, correct me if I'm wrong, Florida A&M is a public institution.
Yes, it is.
And because it's a public institution, everything is available at some point in time via the sunshine laws in the state of Florida. Now, sometimes some of this stuff is redacted, but in general, information is available due to the Freedom of Information Act, correct?
Yep.
Number three, Florida A&M's budget ends. I believe they are on a July budget cycle?
Yeah, I believe the new budget begins July 1.
Okay, which means annual reports should be available by the end of the third quarter. And that's by September 30 for those who are on their financial lingo. Which means we'll be able to better vet this once those financial disclosures have to be made public. Until then, Brian, I am going to reserve. I'm not going to get too high. I'm not going to get to the low. I'm going to reserve my skepticism or my praise until that information that can be made public is made public. And the value of that endowment is one thing that will ultimately have to be made public.
Reading right here from FAMU AD Tiffany Dawn Sykes, who says this donation substantially elevates the way FAMU athletics show up in the competition landscape. This reflects his, meaning Mr. Jerami's, commitment to the overall development of our staff and student athletes. It will position us not only to compete, but to dominate every time we step on the field and on the court. This gift is absolutely a game changer for FAMU athletics. It will transform the way we are able to recruit. It will transform the way we develop and support our athletes.
All I'm going to say is this, Brian, outside of the capital stuff that they need to do, can we put some of that money and some of that endowment into scholarships so that all of FAMU athletics can be fully funded?
I certainly think that's part of the plan.
I hope, I pray that is part of the plan. After you take, because there are also capital things that you need to take care of. Everybody knows that. There may be a hire or two that you need to still take care of. But for the long term, that money needs to be in whatever scholarship fund that we need to get to full fully funding And I'm not talking about football and basketball, y'all. I'm talking about things like baseball, softball, tennis, bringing back the men's tennis program that our brother Kofi loved so much. We had which golf program did we get rid of?
Any number of things. Women's golf.
It was women's. All right. Yeah. So seeing those programs come back, because those things take money.
I think you also have to you have to start with what's present, right? And being able to increase. And I've heard directly that A.D. Sykes has talked about finally being able to do. Remember, we talked about the whole academic bonuses that the NCAA allowed athletic departments to be able to provide. It was a max of like $5,000 for the year or something like that.
Yes.
Those kind of things can be done now. The
cost of attendance
possibly is something that's now in play at the university. Summer schools for more student athletes than, say, because look, every program, especially basketball, volleyball, football, we know wants to capitalize on having students in summer school, but also so do our other sports. There's money that is needed to be able to do that. Well, you possibly now you have the opportunity to do that. So it's going to be little things like that when I say little, they're really big for a school that previously was a low resource institution. But even improvements to facilities, baseball, softball, tennis, are facilities that need major improvements. Yes, I know there's the field house. I know the bathrooms in Bragg Memorial need to be fixed and all that. Yeah, people were jokingly about those kind of things, but you can do a lot with what has been gifted. Now, I don't know the timeline in which you can do it, obviously, but some things will be able to be done shorter and shorter time span than others because it's less. But man, that's a transformational problem to have to be able to. Now, the one thing I will say, what'll be interesting to watch for FAMU athletics, and we'll talk about this on Wednesday's show, O&G Strike Zone, 8 p.m. Eastern. How do you create entities or opportunities that create sustainable revenue for the university? My good friend Kelvin always talks about creating P3s and creating something that can generate continuous revenue for the athletic department. Is that now, how soon or how likely is that now in play? So it's little things like that, Drew, that we talk about being transformational. I mean, and I'll say this, Drew, a lot of times I've been looking at donations that have been given. Like I saw when Morehouse, the billionaire, gave like $100 million to Morehouse. It was mostly for scholarships and things of that nature, right?
Which is cool.
I can't argue. That's what college is there for, right? Wasn't for that, didn't have anything to do with athletics. Bethune-Cookman actually received some philanthropic money recently, which was specifically targeted towards athletics. That was huge for their athletic department. And this I think, Drew, is the first gift to an HBCU that included a significant dollar amount earmarked for athletics. And y'all correct me if I'm wrong. If you recall something bigger or close to, hell, even half of this, a quarter of this, all right? I'd say, damn, that's pretty good. So forgive for the non, and look, even among our own, Drew, there's skepticism. Even among our own, there's skepticism. And there's people rooting. People are actively rooting for this to be a scam or for this to be something false or to be something unreal, untrue. That's all right. Keep your skepticism. I'm not for it. I'm not for it.
Let's say the rest for Wednesday, Brian.
Can we talk about Jackson State's new head coach? Do we have time?
Quickly.
I was just going to ask you the question on the floor. I see we got Jeremiah Clark in the building. Shout out, Jeremiah. Jackson State introduced their new head coach, head women's basketball coach, Margaret Richards. They did it big too, Drew. I don't know if you caught any of the did you catch any of the intro?
No. I was, like I said, I was enamored in baseball and softball last week.
Hey, it was about as big as what they did for. You remember when Dion was introduced?
Yes.
It was like that big. I don't know if it was pretty big. I don't think it had the car rolling in and all the extra stuff, but it was pretty big. I was like, whoa, y'all doing all this from Margaret Richards? I'm like, yo, the former Alabama A&M coach. Really? But I mean, hey, props to Jackson State fans. Props to Jackson State. I mean, I would say this, though, Drew. How hard is it got to be following a legend, a 5-time SWAC champion? I mean, what Tamika Reed has done over the last 3 years, how hard is this new job going to be for Margaret Richards? And I asked a question in our private little chat group amongst some of our other brothers from the BCSN and shows like that. I'm going to ask you the question I asked the group. I don't know if you saw it earlier today. What can Margaret Richards do differently that Tamika Reed didn't do or hasn't done to cement herself as a worthy replacement?
There's no answer to that question, Brian. She could go out and win, make it to the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament. She will not replace Tamika Reed.
Oh, wait a minute. Now, she makes it a Sweet 16, Drew. I mean, she's doing something that Tamika Reed
she would not, and then people be talking about she's a one-hit wonder. I'm just saying, she will not replace Tamika Reed. It's just like, who's the new coach at Alabama, University of Alabama football?
I don't even know his name. He came from Washington.
He came from Washington, right?
Coach. Right.
I'm sorry, I don't care what that guy does. He would never replace Nick Saban. I want you to think about this. And let's stick with Alabama football. It literally took Barry Bryant retiring in 1982 to Nick Saban for people to forget about Barry Bryant. And they still talk about him. And how many championships did Nick Saban have to win before Nick Saban passed Barry Bryant for Alabama fans?
Yeah.
That's the challenge. That's what I'm talking about. Because that's how Tamika Reed is revered in Jackson.
I mean, okay, that again, to get to the Sweet 16, Drew, that means Jesus. That means she had to win 2 games, probably on somebody else's court, to get to the Sweet 16. Knowing unless the women's tournament goes to neutral sites in the first round.
Brian, who are we talking about here? We are talking about, and y'all put the kill me. We are talking about Jackson State fans, and no disrespect to Jackson State fans, but Jackson State, Southern, and FAMU are some of the, for lack of a better word, arrogant and most unrealistic fan groups out there. And I can say this because I'm a part of one of them.
Passionate. I might call it passionate. I'm gonna call it
passionate. That's why I say it's going to be an almost impossible task She can. There's almost nothing that she could do to live up to Tamika Reed's legacy.
I just look. It's tough following a legend. I mean, and I mean, we're not talking. I mean, you show me where in. Damn, this is hard. And I bet Margaret Richards is a. I mean, look, she did a good job at Alabama A&M, right? But if you believe the tea leaves that she was about to get let go, so she stepped down. I mean, okay. And now, and I'm gonna tell you who I've said it before. I thought JSU should have hired Eric Jackson, but I know that may not have been the kind of sexy hire that Ashley Robinson wanted or may have taken. I don't know if Eric Jackson over at Rust was a consideration. Okay. But here's what'll be interesting. And I love the fact that Jeremiah Clark said that JSU fans will support. Yes, they will. That's great. They will be passionate. They will donate. It's great. But man, Margaret Richard, I don't know if she didn't beat Jackson State when she was at Alabama A&M. And now the biggest problem is going to be when Dawn Thornton,
Alabama A&M, and while she at Jackson State.
Hey, look, and when Dawn Thornton and Alabama A&M rolls into town to play Jackson State, you can write the storylines. Write the storylines there, because that's going to be some get the popcorn ready. When Jackson State and Alabama A&M play, I mean, that's going to be fun. The storylines will write themselves on that one, Drew. Will they not? I mean, because you got, Dawn Thornton coming over, taking on the former Alabama A&M coach. And, I mean.
Now, here's the thing. Does Dawn Thornton wish she would have waited a couple of weeks and took the Jackson State job?
Ooh, that's messy, Drew. That's look, but that wasn't an option. That wasn't an option. Come on now, that's unfair. She couldn't wait around for Tamika Reed to get another job, and then the Jackson State post open up a week later after she took the job at Alabama A&M. You had to make the move with the best option to upgrade her coaching career.
Here's the question, Brian.
Yes, and Chris Duke says, look, that's why I said Alabama A&M Jackson State should be circled as must see, because Dawn Thornton couldn't beat Jackson State.
That needs to be on one of them solo nights, Brian.
It's got to be a Thursday night.
No man's game needs to follow that.
No, exactly. That's got to be Thursday night, and I want that first game to be played at Alabama A&M. Please give me Margaret Richards and Jackson State coming to Alabama A&M for the first meeting. Please, SWAC schedulers. Please make that happen on a Thursday night.
I got one request.
Yeah.
I need Mo Carter on play-by-play and Coach Pettaway on color.
Woo! That's a hot 1-2 combo. That's a hot 1-2 combo.
Wait a minute. And I'm gonna throw it one step further. I need Charles Bishop to be my sideline reporter.
There you go. That should be the look. I know the SWAC has these contracts with HBCU Go, so maybe they will actually stream more games this year somewhere on some. But if they don't do it, I need the Bulldog Network, the A&M Bulldog Network, to broadcast this game, and there's the crew. I would love that. That we gotta, man. Please. There's no other game that I want to see right now other than FAMU at Alabama A&M, because last year was a ridiculous outcome. But I do want to see that. But
so Brian, quick, on your birthday.
Yes.
Balance of power in SWAC women's basketball. Who's your 1, 2, 3 going into next season? Not knowing who's already left. We know some people are still going to be shuffling around. But 1, 2, 3.
I wish you would. See, this is where I need Liv. I need Liv. I need Olivia to kind of help me figure out who's where. Okay. First off, Grambling State has to. Nobody's talking about Grambling State, which I guess is good because they really haven't lost anybody. I don't know if Grambling State has lost a lot of people. So I'm gonna hold Grambling State in high regard as preseason number 1 for me until I feel differently. Now, the one thing is, some of you guys may know, where did the girl from Alabama A&M, Simmons, where did she go? She left Alabama A&M. I don't think she has, I can't remember her first name. Did Simmons leave? She didn't come back. I haven't seen anything that said Simmons has come back. Because it's expensive as hell, Jeremiah. I mean, look, that's great. I mean, y'all $19. I mean, man. Anyway, let me not get distracted there. Grambling, yes, Grambling number 1. Grambling had Grambling not. Okay, had Jackson State not been Jackson State, the second best team in the conference was Grambling State. And it's not even, I mean, they finished the regular season like on a 7-game winning streak. I think they deserve a lot of credit going into again, all of this is based on, we got to see what rosters look like.
Right. What about all the transfers that A&M has got?
So
A&M was not a bad squad last year.
So number 2, because of roster and people, I gotta say A&M is 2. But I might also say, and I don't know what Alcorn has lost or gained, but I might have to say Alcorn is 3. I'm maybe being a little biased and going with the sexy choice of Alabama A&M being 2. But it is what it is. Okay.
I'm shocked at you, Brian.
Well, because I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, why didn't I have Coach Pressure and FAMU in my top 3? Right? Is that what you're going to say?
I was wondering if you was going to put FAMU in the top 3.
Well, there's 2 things.
Consider the improvement that they made last year.
But
and this is her first true recruiting class.
Okay. Jens P. Just okay. Amaya Simmons is at San Jose State. Doggone, she got out of the SWAC. Okay, well, I hate that. Okay, so there's that. All right, so I can stop guessing. Thank you. I don't know if Conference Player of the Year Ariana Grizzle is coming back. I know there was some talk. FAMU was that she may have a year of eligibility remaining. I don't know if she does or not. There was some talk that she might. So I don't know if Grizzle's coming back. And then I think roster still, the one team who I haven't seen a lot of movement and noise about is the roster construction. Like I've seen maybe 2 girls from FAMU enter the portal. And I thought there would be a little bit more, to be honest. I thought there would maybe only be about 6 or 7 holdovers, but I don't know. And then there's some new girls coming in. It's just a lot of unknowns. If you ask me this very question again before we get into talking about football, in July, like before we start getting into heavy football talk, ask me this question in July. Once I kind of see what rosters look like, I'll be more than glad to read this. But right now, I'm going to say my early 1, 2, 3, Grambling, Alabama A&M, Alcorn.
Okay. All right.
And we wait to see what else is out there.
Gotcha.
Great point, Jeremiah Clark. You know what? We appreciate you for picking up Rattler's Blood. And I will say, I don't know if the Jackson State coverage gives me the option to do monthly like Rattler Plus gives me a chance to do monthly. Alabama State's gives me a chance. You could do monthly there. Jackson State is either per game or the year. Now, I could be mistaken, but the last time I checked, it's either like $19.99 a game or $80 for the whole year. Where should that send you, Drew? That should send you to purchase it. It's from a marketing perspective. I get it. It's genius. It's great.
The year.
It's
something. Even as a visiting fan, like FAMU, I'm looking at the calendar and seeing, okay, how many of our teams play in Jackson and they're going to stream?
Okay.
Oh, we're gonna be there 6 times. I'm paying the $80.
You're probably right, because you got, let me see, volleyball once, men and women's basketball. That's 3.
Oh, it's $20 per. There's no doubleheader.
It's 20.
Well, it depends on the new schedule. Whether that's a doubleheader day.
I saw $20 per.
Okay.
So
baseball, softball.
Baseball, softball, that's 5.
That's 5 right there.
It's 5.
You've already saved $20. All
right, I've saved $20. So Drew, you've and hopefully maybe I can write it off. Can I write it off as a media business expense? You know accounting a little bit. Can I write that off?
I guess you charge it back to Black College Sports Network and say it's for streaming purposes for coverage. Yeah,
coverage.
We can get creative. We can get creative.
All right, I gotta talk to the CEO about that. Good.
Yeah.
All right. Coming up on the end of the third quarter, my Pacers are up 3, 80-77, make it 82-77. Maybe the Knicks are tired. That was something that, Thibodeau likes to play his guys high 30s into 40 minutes, right? And there was some talk that maybe the Knicks could be a little fatigued. Oh, like I just saw a bad turn. Oh, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. Obi Toppin just went.
Don't get me on the air.
Holy cow. Obi Toppin. Okay. Well, folks, Pacers are up 4. We coming up towards the end of the third quarter. It's going to be time to close out because your boy, I need to get that birthday win. I need to check on my prop bets and see how they're doing. But, yeah. All right. Drew, I appreciate you doing the show tonight with me on my birthday.
It's no problem, man. At least you wasn't replacing somebody on your birthday.
Well, hey, if you had to replace somebody, I could think of no better call to the bullpen than A.D. Drew. So,
speaking of being called to the bullpen and replacing, I will be the guest lecturer on Thursdays, Dr. Cabillas, inside the HBCU Sports Lab. I will be leaving the lecture on Thursday. So make sure you tune in at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central right here on everywhere that you catch the Black College Sports Network and their platforms.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you again. You can always, there's a couple ways that you could always support the show. Join the YouTube page, the Black College Sports Network YouTube page. That's a great way to support. You can also, if you want to support us and leave a super chat, you can always do that as well. It's very appreciative, thankful. I can't think of anything better to do on my birthday night than to do this show because I'm doing what I love to do. And anybody who knows me well knows that I love sports. And I don't always have to be right. I'm cool with that. And most of the time I'm not. But I love talking about sports. I love doing this show with you, Drew. And I love all of the interaction that you guys bring to us via the chat room. So I'm thankful to all of you for joining me on my birthday. Hopefully the Pacers can close out a win, and that has set the night off right. Pacers get a win in the Garden for Game 1. Couldn't ask for a better 50th birthday present than that. So thank you to everybody. Keep supporting HBCU content. My biggest birthday wish, no matter where it is, it could be Jeremiah Clark over there on KC 1400. It could be any of our other friends, wherever they are, on other networks and other channels. Just support HBCU media, HBCU Sports. There's a lot of people that do this as a labor of love, and so every little bit helps. I think the super chat is on our YouTube via the Jericho broadcast networks. I know we have our YouTubes on our Black College Sports Network, but Jericho broadcast network is that. I think that's where the chat is.
Yeah,
but,
and I saw something for the first time today, Brian.
What's that?
I actually saw a chat come through from Twitter today. I don't know if it was.
Oh yeah, it's there. If you
that's the first time I ever noticed that a tweet.
If you like I see, like right now I have if you were watching, if you're on Twitter, like on your desktop, and you watch the show on the desktop, you can because what it'll do is it'll show up so for example, if you're on Twitter on your desktop, I'm assuming it works Apple the same way, but on the right side there's a live on X. So if any of the people you follow are doing live shows, it'll pop up over there, and it's like a broadcast channel. And so yeah, it comes with a chat room. Like I know Jeremiah's in the Clark, Jeremiah's in there, and I know I've seen other shows. I know a lot of people that we follow. You can see their show, and then you can comment on it as well. And I think it kind of works for Spaces as well. So it's like dual things going over there, video as well as Spaces. So if you're not familiar, but good stuff.
Yeah. Thanks to Dr. Zachary Faison, President Faison.
Yeah.
For first of all, thanks for watching us on the regular, and then thank you for jumping in at our beck and call and giving a good conversation. Good conversation from Dr. Faison. So, and you only catch that on places like the Black College Sports Network and the BCSN SportsWrap. Well, we talk to presidents, y'all. We go straight to the top.
Straight to the top. Well said. So again, that was pretty cool, man. Appreciate Doc coming in, Dr. Faison coming in on the birthday show. And again, I'm really appreciative. Thank you to everybody who, any friends and family that might be watching. I can't express enough appreciation for my sister, my younger sister. She, I can't even express appropriately how much she poured into making the past 7 days and today feel really special. So I'm thankful. And with that said, I look forward to Wednesday's show as myself, Kelvin, and Marcus, we dig a little deeper into what kind of transformation these funds might mean for FAMU athletics, and also kind of celebrating some of the good news going on with FAMU athletics, softball, track and field results, baseball, and some recruiting updates and things of that nature. So if you guys want to find out,
we got to get some catnip for baseball.
Yeah. They took 2 or 3 from us, but we still got a 1-game lead in the East. So big series this weekend against Alabama State. So that's gonna be good. But if you want to get all the tea, as the kids would say, about what's going on with FAMU, come check out the ONG on Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern on the Black College Sports Network. Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab will be on tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central. I think Charles Bishop will be steering the ship, I think. We'll see. But tune in. Always a good show. And then, as you heard, Drew will be captaining the ship on Thursday. All right. Well, everybody, it's been a joy. I'll be a little bit older, a little bit wiser next week. Hopefully, we'll be on Sunday. So we'll see.
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day
early.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day early to all the moms watching, and I miss mine, but I got a lot of great aunts and some of my cousins who are now moms, so I'm going to pour into them this weekend and kind of take away the little bit of pain that I got. So, but it's all good. It's part of life. So I'm blessed. No worries. Too blessed to be stressed, as my good friend would like to tell me. All right, Drew.
Let's pick up this show and get out of here, man.
Amen. For AD Drew, I'm Brian Fulford. Thanks to everybody for watching the show. See you on Sunday. Have a great week. And you've been watching the BCSN Sports Wrap right here on the Black College Sports Network. Peace out.
Travel light, everybody. We'll holler.
But you stay hard.